There's a bill pending in Congress from Tom Massie of Kentucky to allow schools to have armed guards and cancel the federal law that precludes it. We're going to tell you why it's a good idea. So let's talk about something where there's some sanity, okay? There's this congressman in Kentucky. This is him. This is Tom Massie. He has a bill co-sponsored by 22 Republicans, no Democrats, that would repeal the federal ban on guns in school zones. And therefore, it would allow local governments and school boards to, quote, unambiguously set their own gun policies. Now, what this means is that all these shootings that are happening, like the one in Nashville a little while ago, there's been 103 shootings in the last year. Tom Massie's bill would allow a local government or the school board or the state or the county to arm the schools. And I know this is going to be a shocker to you, and we talk about it all the time. Apparently, the sign, "Our school is a gun-free zone," has not worked. Apparently, the criminals read the sign and don't throw away their gun, or, I know this is shocking, ignore the sign completely, or they don't read. Why can't we be like Israel, where we arm the schools and the kids are no longer, what do they call it, a soft target? You know what I mean? Why don't we have retired military who are on pensions, who are trained in firearm safety? They've spent years carrying guns, or off-duty policemen, or people that are certified like us. Why can't we protect our children? Why is Tom Massie's bill so horrible to the other side of the aisle?
Because if we can remove the crime that's happening at schools, the left, they no longer have an agenda. That's exactly what it is. They want to make sure that we continue to have children in harm's way. There's a solution. Just like the same solution that was used for Black people when they were freed from the Democrat Party after slavery, the solution, because what happened, the Democrat Party created the KKK, and they were going and killing and tormenting Black people in their homes when they finally were able to have homes. So the NRA and the GOP teamed up together, gave Black people firearms to defend themselves from the Democrat KKK Party. It didn't stop all of it, but it was a huge deterrent. They don't want to repeat that, Barry. They want to continue because, again, if there's no crime throughout the country, the Democrat Party, they don't have an agenda.
Let me interrupt you. You are literally saying, I want you to take ownership, if this is what you mean, that it's better for these people who represent you and me and the other 300 plus million to have brutal massacres on school property to enhance their agenda of eliminating guns than to protect the most vulnerable among us. Is that literally what you're saying?
100%. Because if they didn't have the children dying in the schools, people dying on the streets, they would not have an agenda. What would they be talking about, Barry? What would they be talking about?
Well, trans stuff.
Touche.
Trans protection.
Yeah. Let's not remind everyone the last few shootings were committed by who?
Trans people with manifestos that we don't get to read.
Yeah, exactly. I'm calling them trans terrorists.
Well, for one, I'm voting for arming every single school, and I want a sign taken down that says gun-free zone. And I want the sign to say, you are entering a zone where there is a trained armed security officer who is willing, able, and going to use deadly force to protect our children.
Exactly, because the Tennessee shooter didn't stop at the first school because there was an armed guard there.
Bingo.
It's
Absolutely right.
It's a no-brainer. But again, it goes right back to my point. If we put armed guards, it stops these crazy people that should belong in an insane asylum, right? And instead of them going to the schools, they should be locked up in a padded room. But the Democrats don't want that. They want them to go to the schools because they have an agenda. And once they get these crazy, insane people to do this horrific crime, then they can come after the law-abiding citizens. And then you bring up the signs that are in the schoolyard. Gun-free zone. I've learned this, Barry. Criminals and Democrats, they do not play by the same rules. They don't. The criminals could care less what you have. A gun-free zone, oh, that doesn't mean me. That means you, the law-abiding citizen. They don't play by the same rules. The criminals don't. They don't care.